season. Prior to that, that's about getting to the basket, being a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he was barely over 1 free throw a game. And you look last year, he was 4+ a game. So 25% of that, that's a stat that jumps out. Let's see early, does he get those paint touches? And I think, Darren, it doesn't just need to lead to free throws, but it's shots, it's layups, it's assists.
It's a Christmas break for both of these programs, and it's into conference play. One into the MAC, the other into the Big 12. And for Arizona, their first journey into the tough, gritty, aggressive Big 12 conference.
And a tough, gritty defense by Central Michigan. A lot of zone today. How does Arizona handle it?
Zone 40 minutes, right back the other way after the zone stop. That's Caden Vasco. He's from Lowell, Indiana. As you take a peek at the starters for Arizona, the one thing they wanted to do was get the Australian Del Orso in that lineup scoring.
Well, it really spreads the floor more than anything for this team. He actually didn't hit shots early the other night. He did late, but his shooting ability really helps him spread it.
Love a little bit strong off the back of the iron. Caleb will shoot it, looks to gain that confidence. Central Michigan's starting 5. We saw Vasco, and they're missing quite a few players. Oh, Hab and Shaden Simpson, Armani Mighty, who transferred in from Boston College. They're going to really welcome those 3 back really soon.
Yeah, Tony Barbie, the coach for Central Michigan, says this is his most talented team. Not might be, or arguably it is, but a lot of those guys have not played. They're 5-5 even without them, so he's done a great job. Back to your Cal comparisons, they've been really tough, and you can see they're not afraid of the moment, coming out 2 early looks right at the rim.
You have to motivate, he said. You have to be patient, you have to challenge, you have to push, and you have to love. You have to love this generation of players, he said, but he expects the same kind of things that Calipari expected out of him. That's Jacoby Eddy. He is at Bethune-Cookman last year, did a bunch of scoring in the SWAC. I mean, a ton of it.
Yeah, he's put up some big 30-point games, has no problem, not fearful at all of the situation. Here's that zone. It's pretty linked. They kind of push the zone out.
And a chance to go to the line. Boy, that's a presence. Tommy Lloyd seeking really for some answers in the middle. When you know you're going to go without Motievas Krivas for at least a limited amount of time, a guy like Tobe Awaka becomes very important. And by the way, happy 50th birthday to Tommy Lloyd today.
Yeah, that's a big one. And you and I wished him happy birthday first at shoot around, and I asked him a couple questions. He didn't want any of it. And Darren, you absolutely intervened. You cut me off right in front of my questioning. He didn't want it, did he?
Well, let me ask you folks at home, do you think that man wants to talk about his birthday?
It is 50.
Does he strike you as the kind of guy right now, let's talk about my birthday? We're 5-5. I don't want to talk about my birthday.
I'll tell you what, he was awesome. And what he talked about, look for this today. He talked about unlocking the ball movement. That is the key, he thinks, to his offensive struggles.
Which means you got to stay active. You got to keep your head up. Del Orso swats that one away. That puts Bradley on the move. Nice job forcing Love to his left.
Yeah, great job. And a nice job by Del Orso playing Central Michigan's best player in the paint there.
A couple of bodies on Love. They don't want to let him shoot it. Right away, the double team with that zone. That zone swung around quickly. Caleb finds a look. Little mid-range jumper, and oh, was that solved.
Yeah, and that's one of the areas we haven't seen him as much, is that mid-level. Seems like he gets to the rim. Seems like he shoots a 3. That is really good news for Arizona fans.
Go to the bucket, Caleb. We were talking about that the other day. You're right, he does get to the rim. 4 rebounds a game. Nice stop defensively. He did leave his feet, no whistle as the bodies collided. That was Trey Townsend, the 5th-year player out of Oxford, Michigan, defensively. Let's watch this. Could have whistled this. Let's see.
Now here's that D. Verticality right there. Good, very good no call. And there's Del Orso. Really good job on Pritchard inside. And, you know, Deli, really good offensive player. And I think guys go at him on his defense. They're trying to take advantage. That's going to be the key for him in this starting lineup. Stay in there on defense. Did a nice job on that one.
Yeah, it's forced a turnover. Junga just a minute ago was the one who came up empty on that penetration at the shot. Brian. He sits down for just a moment as that swung into the corner. Caleb, again, short. Junga turns it over.
How about Deli making his second Very good defensive play already. Not even 3 minutes into it right there. Just gets in the way. Doesn't foul there and causes the turnover. Unforced error.
That game against UCLA, Tommy Lloyd thinking at times the game got a little fast for him, and it was defensively that it felt that way. Good to see him aggressive defensively early.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, like I said, he's a really good offensive player. So teams see him, decide, hey, maybe we can go at him on the other end. Well, and that's the way most players are. Most players have a little bit of advantage on one area.
Boy, great job swatting that one away. 3-point attempt from Del Orso. Instead, there's an answer. That's Jane Bradley. He's good for 12 points a game. Shoots 33% from distance.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he has not shot a lot of threes this year. That's the one area, you know, Arizona not shooting the three well. And it's not just about taking extra threes. It's finding guys in rhythm, passing the ball really well. That was a good possession. We saw that there, but Bradley's best shot is the corner three.
This has been such a 2-point basketball team the last couple of years. It's unique to find them needing the three. Nice job defensively. The one thing they are is a great defensive team. But they actually do. They actually find themselves needing the three a little bit more this year than they did a season ago. Why?
Well, a couple reasons, because teams are forcing them to shoot the three. And the college, the pro three, it's a big thing. Tommy Lloyd knows that. And he knows, look, we don't have to take 100 of them. We just have to be efficient. And they haven't taken a lot, nor have they made a lot. Not shooting a very good percentage, right around 30% this year. They're much better than that, though.
Yeah, ranked 317th in the nation, 3-point shooting percentage. Matt's exactly right. I think there's a little bit of, as Del Orso launches a triple, that one's firm. A bit of a tryout, too, for play in the middle. They don't have the depth inside. That's one of the reasons they need the three a little more.
Absolutely.
Right now, they don't anyway.
No, especially with Krivas out right now. And you can see Central Michigan, not that they're just giving that, but they're letting them shoot it.
And an athletic play and a chance at a 3-point play for Brian Junga, the native of Cameroon, the Cal State Northridge transfer. Yeah, just a minute ago, the athletic man who found his home in Central Michigan. ASU certainly looking down I-10, seeing a big challenge coming up in the Big 12. It literally is hiking weather, and it may be for the rest of the wintertime. 80 degrees as we welcome you back to Tucson, Arizona. Matt and Darren, happy holidays, and thanks for being with us. Caleb Love, I think, finds it important to put the team on his shoulders. He doesn't have to. There's plenty of depth. But even with his shooting efforts early on, he wants to be a part of the turnaround as they head into Big 12 play.
Yeah, no question. And he's an alpha. Like, that's just how he's built when he was at Carolina, when he came here. You know, he's going to put up shots. And I asked him right before the game tonight, I said, hey, what are you thinking about? What's your approach? He goes, look, Matt, I'm not thinking. That's the one thing. He goes, I just want to be hooping. That's what I have to do, get back to being me. I do think early on in the season he was a little deferential, wanted to get other guys involved. You got to respect it, but it may have taken a little bit away from his game.
Great effort athletically by Junga, turning it into a 3-point play, and this is exactly where Central Michigan wanted to be. Now, again, we're going to point it out when it's a story, and it's a story. They're leading on the three. They're 1 of 7, the Cats, to open the game from distance.
And that's why Coach Barbie is playing this zone, and we see Caleb Love hit that corner shot there.
You don't stop shooting it, right?
Hey, shoot or shoot. You shoot when you're hot, and you shoot when you're not to get hot.
Love drops that one in, so he is finding his stroke. Love has got 5 points, his first triple, 1 of 3 from long distance. And by the way, a little bit more presence inside now. Vasar is on. He'll work with Trey Townsend, provide some rebounds. There's a big fella. Henry Vasar out of Tallinn, Estonia, the 7-footer, the redshirt sophomore. Work without Motiemas Krivas. Something there, you bet. Feet got busy, so it wasn't there. Traveling violation. It's a turnover.
Yeah, Vasar turns it over right there. It was kind of, you know, he just got in a bad position way down there on the baseline. Tommy Lloyd, I think, has been happy with Vasar, believes he can really, I think, blossom. I think he's a guy that can become a really good player for them. Not there yet, but he's really shown, I think, some real positives for them.
Is it hyperbole if I say he has to? I mean, he kind of has to.
No, it's not.
For them to do what they want to do in this strong, big
Right.
physical conference, he has to. This is time for your coming of age. Now, it's wonderful for him, but he has to come through.
And he just altered that shot. Those are the things he can do.
I said it the other night, I really believe it for Tommy Lloyd and his staff. This is when you earn your living. Your team starts off, you have some injuries. Nice job defensively. You earn your living now. If you're that man, certainly at a mid-major level, and you've scheduled a gauntlet, and if you're Tommy Lloyd on the other side, and a team that's expected to blow out of the gates is 5-5.
You know, it's a weird season right now for Arizona because of the expectations. A little bit weird for Central Michigan. They thought they would be better again, but the injuries. I think interesting here, Sut. Let's take a look at this. Carter Bryant playing the 4. We saw that on Wednesday as Love launches and hits again. And what I like best about Love right now, you miss your first 2, make your next 2. That shows confidence to me.
Caleb Love continues to stroke from distance. 12-6 the lead. Caleb already with 8 points, firm off the glass. There's that height, that strength in the middle.
Basar twice. He didn't even jump there, and he altered that shot.
Wow, heat check, short. They get him with the foul?
Wow. I didn't see that.
Goodness gracious. Tommy Lloyd, they gave your man a Christmas gift in his stocking there. 3 free throws. Look, I'm going to count these free throws, but these aren't penetration free throws.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
There to go, by the way.
The previous ones he knocked down, like I said, after missing 2. That was, I didn't see that one. Coach Barbie didn't seem to contest it too much.
Bonds is whistled for that foul. Demarion Bonds. Pontiac, Michigan, went to Henry Ford Community College while Caleb enjoys these 3 at the line. (14-6) the number. Listen.
I think I've been thinking too much. I think I've been putting too much pressure on myself. You know, I didn't forget how to play basketball, and so just coming out here and playing the way I did, I give all credit to my teammates.
I love the simple part of that line. He had 23 points, and he said, look, I didn't forget how to play basketball. He didn't say disrespectfully, Matt, or,
no.
or with incredulous. It was just very simple.
It was
true. What a great play that was.
Nice hoop, and again, that was over Basar. That was nice.
Kyler Vanderjack out of the Belmont, a Belmont transfer, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Kyler's averaging 11 points. Had 19 points against Marquette. 19.
Well, when they get healthy, and you think of all these guys now that have played in place of the injured players, they're going to be really good and deep.
Conrad Martinez, the man out of Spain, sees some early minutes. He finds his way in earlier and earlier. An energy guy, Lewis, who's been coming more off the bench to add to this team, comes up short. Vanderjack has it contested, but they blow the whistle. Got pretty physical, and looked like a fair whistle that time.
Now here's going right into Caleb. I thought he was pretty vertical, but what he got him for were the 2 hands coming down at the very end. Let's see if he gets them. It looks like he got not only his hand's part of the ball if it's on the ball, but I think he got below the hand and the wrist.
Central Michigan's a fun team to look back. Look, they haven't been to the tournament in quite some time. They want to change that this year. In the 70s, they went a couple of times. In the 80s, that was Matt's decade, they went once. But then they went in 2003. That's the last time they've been. But when they go, no one likes to play them. They're actually 3-4 in their history in the NCAA tournament. Nobody likes to play a team that can do that.
Well, a good mid-major that is overlooked by a lot of teams. Those are the hardest teams to play. They have talent. Tony Barbie, I'll tell you what, it was fun talking to him.
I liked him.
He really he had that Cal energy. You could really feel it, the toughness we talked about. He'd be I know he is a great recruiter.
I think that's the thing that Tommy Lloyd talked about. I mean, Tommy knowing he'd have athletes and players, and that's a credit to his recruiting ability. Fearless schedule, by the way, as Arizona looks to add to their lead. For both these teams, actually. Fearless schedule for both these teams.
Well, and I think like Arizona, as Love gets another paint touch, but like Arizona, I think, look, I'm a Bill Parcells guy. Your record is your record, but I think at the same time, you can say that you're better than your record. I really think you can. I think Arizona and I think Central Michigan can say the same.
Absolutely. The net ranking, the live net ranking. his scholarships for to do things like that.
Well, you just, oldest statement, you just can't teach length. And just the ability to come over, uses the left hand like my old teammate Sean Rooks used to do.
These are big moments, though. These are big things to go on film for TCU to see. Moments like that are important.
Yeah, we talked about player confidence, and Arizona lacking a little player confidence, but I think they've lacked team confidence, Sut, and those are the type of things not only get you going, but get your team going, a block, a dunk, a great assist.
Try to get into the Henry's hands.
Well, he said, I just want to be hooping, right? At the hotel, laying out before games here in Tucson in the winter, getting some sun.
Well, you love that. As the home team, you love that. Get a little tired.
Get a little tired, yeah.
Yeah, we can't talk enough about our interaction with that man and what he has been building the last few years in Central Michigan. I kind of think he's reached the point where it's tournament or bust this year. So Mac, look out. Whoa. Beautiful give and go. Hammered home by KJ.
And that was a play. Tommy Lloyd out of the timeout, set that up. It was a backdoor, get your best leaper, dunker, let him finish and get the crowd going.
It's fun for KJ, averaging 10 a game, 5 rebounds. The El Paso, Texas native, who grew up here as well during the early stages of his life, maybe kindergarten. 19-10 the number. A step back from Vanderjack and a kind roll on the road.
Vanderjack's strong. He can get to the rim, and that nice little pull-up. When you play off 2 feet, Sut, I say it all the time, it just gives you so much more of an advantage.
He was a big-time high school, like a really good athlete, Vanderjack. So fearless of contact, perfect for this game of basketball. Another baseline punt. It's golden for KJ Lewis.
Yeah, same play, really just on the other side, on the left side.
Look at Conrad, reaches around, pries it free. He's an assist man and he's a defensive menace. When he's right, Bryant lines up a 3. A little bit long, the freshman. Carter Bryant from Riverside, California, a McDonald's All-American finding his way to campus.
Yeah, not shooting it like I thought he would. He's a really good shooter. That's a shot as the year goes on, I think he makes most of the time.
Couple of nice plays here.
Here's that back door, you see it right there. He just comes up to the wing, flies down to the baseline. They bring up Vasar to screen. The screen was the eye candy, and then you had that back door right there for KJ.
You were talking about Conrad. Ranolors, Spain, a couple of points a game. The one thing he's an assist monster when he's out there. His assist percentage is nearly a third of all baskets when he's on the floor. Wow. Assisted by him, and he pays it off nicely.
Vasar, gets in that dunking position off the top there. He was way above the rim.
I'm telling you, Conrad, a wonderful option if you look down that depth chart, even if it's a 9th or 10th man.
I agree.
Really controls the basketball well.
Told coach recently, I'm ready to play. He is ready to play. Has a great mental outlook to the game.
Got those TJ McConnell vibes the way he takes care of the ball. It was cool to have TJ in the building the other night.
Yeah, I saw you guys chopping it up. That was fun.
Martinez, a runner. He'll go to the line. Look at double Nichols getting after it.
You know what makes him good? And you see him right here. Goes off the screen. Brings really 3 guys to him. And it was a really nice pass to the top right there, one-handed. But why Martinez is so good? Because he's aggressive. When you come off the bench and you're tentative, you're going to make mistakes. Things are not going to go your way. When you attack and not afraid to make mistakes, good things happen.
He was good during international play, playing for the Spain national and the Spaniard 18U team at the European Championship. They're runner-up to Serbia, and he had 7+ assist games multiple times. Really values just taking care of the basketball, being a facilitator at the highest level. And if you've done it there at that international level, you can do it here.
Yeah. I don't think he'll keep this 11-to-1 assist to turnover, but
picked another pocket.
That's the other reason, too, he's good. He's good on both ends.
That's a skilled play, though, to not draw a foul and do that, correct?
It is. It is. He's attacking on both ends. Tell you what, you know how to ingratiate yourself to the McHale crowd. Play defense. They love it.
That foul away from the basketball. Hip check. Jonga that time. Fourth team foul. His first personal foul. 10-point lead. It's a nice little handy 6-0 run for Tommy Lloyd and his team. They've made 4 of their last 5, and on the other end, the Chippewas have turned it over 3 times.
You know, Tommy said something at shoot-around that the flow hasn't been good. Things haven't been easy on offense, as we see KJ in and out. But it feels like tonight, or this afternoon, a lot easier than I think I've seen in the past couple weeks.
Under 9. 13-point Arizona lead. Vanderjagt really turned the corner heading downhill. That is a tough shot. Flying through the air, Bryant grabs it. That's a tough look. Nice job defensively. Australian Del Orso. I'm not sure how he cleared the space. Right behind him. KJ having a first half.
You know, on that dunk, you know who KJ reminds me of? And it just hit me. He's a little Reggie Geary. He's a little Reggie Geary. He's a 3-man. And I remember Reggie diving from the top of the key in the Final Four against Arkansas. Watch this play. You see him at the top. He already started running as soon as Delly got right to the baseline. That enabled him to get that dunk follow through.
Beautiful job, by the way. I'm not sure how Delly cleared that space to have that shot and that look. That was incredible.
They're doing a good job screening against the zone.
Instead, he tries distance, lit on the basket, and rolls out that time. Del Orso 0 for 4 from the floor to start the game. Another turnover forced. That's 9. 9 for Central Michigan. And just 1 for Arizona. Up with it at the elbow, and he'll go to the line, KJ. He's been barking loudly. You can really hear him in this first half. It was Caleb Love out of the gates that did all the work. Now it's been KJ making the big statement. He's gone caroling. It always has been. And for the Cats, it's really stood tall today.
A lot of the principle of verticality we've seen several times. There's Delly, not a strength of his, but I'll tell you what, his length really helps him on defense. Stay in front, that length can be a big factor. We saw it at least 2 or 3 times. And then Martinez just hustled, getting out on those screens right there. And Bryant has as much length as anybody, flying around really sudden. Asar again.
Central Michigan 4 of 13. They also have turned it over a ton. They forced 9 turnovers, Arizona, as KJ drops in the first one. By the way, Matt Muehlbach just dropped on you for the holiday season. Principles of verticality. I don't know if he snuck that by you. If he didn't sneak it by me. Different than a cult of personality, obviously. Principles of verticality.
That's right.
Although they're both welcome. Because this team is still developing its personality.
It is. It is. And I think that was something Tommy talked about. In shoot around, there's Caleb there. First half Wednesday, 18-13 today. And again, you see very good field goal percentages. He's had, you look at it here, 2 paint touches, 5 catch and shoots. So being aggressive.
Boy, speaking of aggressive, that's a fine play. Lowered that shoulder. Brian Jonga goes to the basket. Playing more minutes and important minutes as a big than he probably should with all the injuries. Averaging 5 with 4 rebounds a game.
Yeah, 6'9", but he's shown some really good dexterity and handles when he takes it to the rim.
Older assists. Giannis plays hoops at Baylor, talking about Jonga. He's from Cameroon. Went to college here in Arizona. Speaking of Arizona, more heat coming your way from Caleb Love.
Caleb's 6 catch and shoot. When you catch and shoot, it makes the game so much easier, makes it simple.
Little pivot, spin and turn, and golden all the way to the bucket. Vanderjagt with a pair. He's got 8. 8 points to lead everyone for Central Michigan.
Yeah, he uses his body again. He's just so strong. He kind of shreds guys off.
Orso. That's what Tommy Lloyd knows will happen. Wow, hammered. I mean, Jonga strong there. Big physical block. Early minutes now to get a chance to see Bonds play. He played just a bit early, number 7. He came up with a miss that time out of Pontiac, Michigan. Some penetration from Caleb. Look at that. No looker. And he pays it off, Anthony. How about Bradley's pass?
Yeah, Bradley playing the point. I feel like he's getting more comfortable. You know, and you saw early on this season, Bradley did a lot of scoring. It feels like more assisting recently. And again, you see Deli riding that baseline. He does a nice job. He kind of floats down there, gets in the corner, and floats to the rim.
Keep an eye on this run, too, with the Waka and what he is able to do with his presence and be a part of that post. Who is Central Michigan? Many of you. We have some alums, I'm sure, watching, some big fans, but
Tremendous announcer.
so that's before the internet was hot and heavy. Look at him doing his research.
Yeah.
That's deep research.
Deep research. Knew my family.
That's amazing. What a legend. He was a mentor to many of us who call games. I'll say that right there. Loved his time in the major leagues when we were both colleagues. He announced for the San Diego Padres for a while when I was with the Diamondbacks.
Remember him doing NBA in the 80s, how good he was?
He did everything well.
Everything. Penetration
just short. They're getting their looks. They're getting a few more looks. Caden Vasco earned it but couldn't close it out. 34-16. Cats on top. Shooting 46% in this contest. That no-looker didn't come to fruition from Trey Townsend.
But you see with Arizona shooting more and Deli in the game, what happened right there? That Central Michigan defense was not in the lane like we've seen them in other games. Tommy Lloyd knows that. That's one of the reasons Deli's out there. Even if he misses a 3, Sut, he said it. What did he say? Shoot around. We can get the offensive board.
That's the thing.
Right?
It's not 3 to survive, and that's the key. It's not a 3 to survive. He does understand that it's evolving in the middle, and it's not there yet, but he does believe in his ability to rebound. The numbers tell you, even though they're 5-5, they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
6th in the nation offensive rebounding.
3-point answer on the other side. Vasco, son of Susan and Ryan. Brother Grant, by the way, good baseball player at Louisville.
Talk about research. Dick Inberg, Dick Sutton.
Well, show me a baseball player. Come on.
Come on.
You can't hide a baseball player from me. You know that.
Well, Vasco does a lot of things for this team. He's a really versatile player, not just a scorer.
Talk about catch and shoot. Up with it quickly. Came up short. I'd love to have your thoughts on that possession a moment ago. Too much, too quick from Besar? Maybe. I know you don't want him putting the ball on the floor.
I think in his mind, he thought the shot clock was down further than it was. I think he was trying to just get it up. Didn't know how much time he had. And that, I think NBA guys deal with that so much more. They know the exact number and know when they can get that shot off.
Love gets another chance. Unable to cash in. Off the foot that time of Townsend. Hanging around, down 15. Central Michigan with that grueling schedule. Enjoying the weather here in Tucson, Arizona. But then again, we all are. Matt and Darren, happy holidays, one and all. Big 12 basketball on ESPN+. Whether yours are grown or they're that little, everyone loves the holiday movies. It's a bit of an escape. Everyone's super busy. You can pull the family together. Well, Matt, being the legend here on campus, was given the opportunity. You know, you score 1,000 points. You pick the movies.
Yeah.
So we'll have that at halftime. I just feel bad. I'm going to give you folks a preview. I didn't fight as much as I should have for Will Ferrell. I'll just leave it at that.
For Elf?
I needed to fight for it.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, later we also have Tommy Lloyd's favorite movie. We got some player.
Yeah, that was another one. He was just as thrilled to answer that question as he was to talk about his birthday.
I didn't even ask him that one.
No,
Thankfully, our producer Gregson asked him, I think, that one.
Oh, he was thrilled to answer that.
I'll tell you what. Well, you know, I'm gonna pull up Bill Walton, our good friend, our colleague, who we lost earlier this year, and a lot of great birthdays on December 21st. Mike, is it Viter or Viter from the Sandlot?
Okay.
His birthday, one of the great all-time. Samuel Jackson, Cooper Flagg from Duke, Jane Fonda, Mike Luke,
here, by the way.
Ray Romano, Kiefer Sutherland, and Tommy Lloyd.
Caleb takes a tumble. Great over-the-shoulder effort by KJ. Great birthday list by you.
Little shout out to Bill. You know, I miss Bill Walton a ton. We all miss him.
I used to adore doing games with him.
I mean, it just did a lot of studio work with him, Pac-12 studio, and amazing person.
So good for the game, such a character of the game. Loved the game. I mean, that's the key.
Loved it.
You can bring any style you want to the air if you're loving the sport and the athlete.
And the people.
Sense?
And the people. And rarely ever said a bad word about a person. You know, just super positive. Would say bad words about a team not playing well.
Sure.
Maybe the sixth worst possession or something like that.
A little bit of grit by Vasco as he takes it right away from Henry Vasar. Caden Vasco having a pretty good game tonight. He's got 5 points now, make it 7 with 3 rebounds in 14 minutes of work.
Central Michigan only down 13. It feels like it's more. Arizona's played well. It's been pretty easy offensively. Central Michigan's struggling to score. That's been the key for them.
He's going to find that stroke. That's what they know. Carter Bryant, the freshman, with the triple.
Yeah, his numbers right now from 3 are not what he is as a shooter. And I think it's more about right now, you look at him. How about that? You put him at the 4 spot, Sut, power forward. He's going to get some really good open looks in that position. Wow, that was sweet. Wow.
That's someone that is scoring the first. That's shocking. Those were his first points in the game.
I know. And we talked about Love's paint touches. Right now, you've got to get Pritchard. Anthony's got to get much more paint touches like that for Love.
Take it home, Caleb Love. Take it home.
Another paint touch on both sides.
He's there defensively. You can tell they've been ready for that dangerous Pritchard. Preseason MAC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year in the conference a year ago. And he's been hot. His last 3 games, Pritchard, 18 points a game. That hip a little bit too aggressive, and it draws a whistle that goes the Arizona Wildcats' way. Now, his last 3 games, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Big games against Valparaiso and against Mississippi State as well.
Well, he's, as I mentioned, heart and soul pit bull of this team, and you know, he's scored the most points. He's high on free throws, most free throws, most assists. He really does everything for him.
$1:30 on the clock. KJ tries to pick it off, unable to do so. That's a good whistle. That's what I'm talking about. That reach and pop and free is difficult without drawing a whistle. And they hung it that time on Jaden Bradley. First personal. 15 foul. Bradley sits for a moment. Conrad comes on. Some energetic minutes early from Conrad Martinez. Couple of steals, couple of assists. Matter of fact, 3 assists.
Yeah, he was dynamic coming in.
Couldn't execute the shot, but great penetration and then dump out to set up the wide open 3. Tobe Awaka. That's a brick house in the lane. That's one, Tobe. I know he's experienced at this level, even more so than Henry. He's one that's going to have to evolve. He becomes, to me, very important in the Big 12.
Yeah, his size, his strength, his girth, just how tough and how hard he plays. Great kid. Absolutely brings it every night. And, you know, look, he's in a new role, Sut. His role at Tennessee was really come in and rebound. That was it. If you get a putback, great. Maybe a tip in. He's now looked upon like that play. Post up, try to get a post up, try to score after the post up. It's not easy to change that just your first time ever, and he's working at it.
How about a chance for a 3rd point with that bucket? Lewis fights his way home.
KJ Lewis coming off the bench, and you see right here, he just basically flashed to the middle, but Arizona's out of bounds play right there had everybody out of the paint. Often you see a lot of screen the screeners, action inside the paint. That was wide open. It enabled KJ to flash. That's why he got the hoop.
KJ had 11 points the other day. Conrad continuing to share the basketball, his 4 assists right now. KJ went to the line 7 times against Samford. He goes back to the line a lot in this one. That's the 3rd time, and he's 3 for 3.
You think he's liking coming off the bench? I mean, it looks, the bench team, and also the sort of, the second wave looks even better to me, Sut. He looks comfortable. It's almost that Pelle Larsson role that we've seen the last few years.
You can sense Lloyd in a game like this is very intentional. I don't want to call it holding tryouts for roles, but again, he is. KJ up with it. It's too strong. Nearly got the roll. Offensive foul to free himself up. Tobe Awaka. Tobe had 7 rebounds the other night. He had 9 points. One of his calling card games this year, though it wasn't the way they wanted it to go in the end. He had 9 points and 13 rebounds at Wisconsin. That's the kind of game they need from him. 9 with 13.
Yeah, and he'll do it against good teams. He has no problem. He'll do it in the Big 12. Leads the team in rebounding.
He had a game last year as he sits. Basar comes on to finish the thought on Awaka. He played 22 minutes in a game against Mizzou and left that game with 18 points and 10 boards. Half of them offensive rebounds.
18 is impressive, too.
You can get 10 out of him, though, right?
Yeah.
10 and 10?
Oh, yeah. I think that's a good number for him. Not easy to do, but a good number.
Especially if lucky number 13 continues to evolve. That's a big part of it.
It'll open things up for Tobe.
Boy, that was an aggressive play for them tonight. That cut. Tommy wants them to keep moving, and that's why.
Tommy said, unlock the ball movement. That unlocks player movement. That unlocks easy hoops.
That's 20 points for Caleb Love.
Wow.
Is there a chance for more points? Buzzer goes off. They'll send him to the locker room. And Arizona does.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the key. They hope they do start shooting it well from 3 at some point. They're going to need that part of their game. They're going to need growing presence in the paint as well. Tobe Awaka gets to start things in the paint in the second half. That one fired into the first row. A turnover that time. Celebrating his 50th birthday, Tommy Lloyd. His team will have an opportunity, the athletes, the coaching staff, to take some time, to take a breather, and everyone expected to return to campus at some point on the 26th. They'll work out on the 27th. So, little break, catch your breath with your family.
I remember as a player, Sut, that Christmas break was, man, that felt good.
Did it?
Yeah, because just, it's not only the games, but you're practicing since really the summer. So it means a lot. It's a nice little bank shot to start the second half.
Yeah, Jonga kissed that one off the glass, whether he meant to or not. He played at Bella Vista Prep in Arizona. Played his AAU for the Compton Magic, a really well-renowned AAU program. So he knows this part of the world. Jonga gets whistled that time. They feed the big man in the paint.
This matchup by Central Michigan reminds me a little bit of the matchup that actually Arizona used to play years ago with Lute Olson, and currently a little bit with the Oregon matchup zone.
Caleb couldn't get that one to fall down into the corner.
You see how much harder they're hedging on those ball screens, especially with Awaka in there at the 5 spot. And I think that's going to help not only their defense, but their three-point defense, Sut.
Shot clock at 8. Difficult shot, well defensed. Again, that's Del Orso. A minute and a half has disappeared. Del Orso looks for a lane and instead lowers that shoulder, draws a whistle as he banged into Caden Vasco. You take a look at where Arizona stands non-con play. And the Big 12, which is technically 16 teams deep, they're 16th at 5-5. But when you look at the active net, the net that continues to update fluid, the science of the net ranking, they're actually 8th. As a matter of fact, they're one of 8 teams inside the top 35. It's just interesting where the net ranking looks at even a team like Houston, who's deep in the standings at 7-3. They're going to lob that one into Tobe Awaka. Wow. That's what they need him to do. Now, it's not going to be that easy in conference play, but feed the big man.
Yeah, and not only used his strength to catch and come down, but the skill of the left hand to split the defenders. That was a really nice play by Awaka.
By the way, Awaka, Del Orso do the job. Townsend hurries back. Transfer from Oakland. Number 4 in that Arizona jersey as he gets the basketball now. Loses the handle on it. Here's Tobe a minute ago.
Yeah, he gets down there, gets double teamed, nice high-low, seals his guy, but then figures out, hey, use the rim as my friend, shield him off, left hand is where it's at.
Yeah, when you take a peek at that net ranking, and you were saying Ken Palm, even the Ken Palm number had Arizona even higher than the net.
Well, you know, for Arizona fans that are thinking, wow, what's going on? Arizona's 5-5. We didn't expect this. They came out 9th in the country to start. I mean, look, they played a very, very tough schedule. They struggled winning some of those games, even though they were close and easily could have won 2 or 3 of them. But Sut, like I said, you know, you are your record, but at the same time, a Ken Palm. This team is much better than I think the narrative has been outside of this arena.
And now they'll get a chance to prove it after the holiday.
They will, and it's, you know, and again, you can talk all day long, but now they get into the Big 12 in, what, 9 days.
35 if you're looking at the net. Teams like West Virginia, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, Kansas, Baylor, Houston, and of course Iowa State all in front of them in the net.
Well, interesting to look at like a Ken Palm or net and see who's behind them. There's a lot of great teams behind them.
Oh, their rivals, ASU's one of them at 51, and ASU's off to an 8-2 start.
8-2, I know, they've had some great wins.
A quad 1 win. It's a win against a team inside that top 50. Arizona's 0-5 against teams that are quad 1 teams. Baylor is the only other team in this conference that has 5 quad 1 games. They're 2-3 in those 5.
Arizona taking time to get into this matchup zone.
Bradley takes it himself. Not what he had hoped for with that look. Just stuck with it, even though his head was nearly to the floor. That's a fun thing. He looked like a football player there, a rugby player.
God, he kept that left foot, the pivot foot.
I don't know how he did that.
I mean, we always talk about keep your pivot foot, but if you're not as strong as a walk in that situation, it's impossible.
Turned it over, ends up in the hands of Bradley, and here he goes. Yeah, Waka from the Bronx in New York. Far from Yankee Stadium, where he went to school, as Caleb drops home another. That's 22 for Caleb Love.
Well, the game has slowed down for him. Kind of funny to say for the 5th-year grad player, but it felt really easy for him that time. Nice pump fake. I think he knew he was going to do that 2 seconds before.
A couple of pretty passes there and into the corner. They hoped to pay it off. Jacoby Eddy couldn't do so. Caleb, short. Had a hand in his face. Didn't give a lot of credit to Vanderjack that time.
Probably not a shot he wants to take there. Kind of heavily contested, but the one before I thought Caleb was as just chill as he's been all season. Easy pump fake, easy little 15-footer, and he's shown all 3 levels today.
Talking about Central Michigan's schedule and what they've taken on. They went to South Alabama. They went to Marquette. They went to George Mason. They went to Minnesota. Yep. Played in Mississippi, a neutral game against Mississippi State. That's fearless schedule.
Yeah, that's all that time with Coach Cal, right?
And that's exactly who Barbie is. He played for Coach Cal. He actually said their relationship dates back to when he was 15 years old.
Coach Cal coached him at Big 5.
That's crazy.
And if you were around at that time, you know.
Del Orso with the triple, like the number on his jersey.
Well, I think he'd been 0 for until he made that. You know, again, the irony is he hasn't shot it well, even though he started. I think when he gets going, offense is really going to click.
That was him against Sanford, though. He was kind of icy to start, then got hot in the second half. Ended up with 14 points against Sanford. Was hot from distance late. He's trying to find it here in the second half. Look at the rebounding ability of Townsend and the bucket. The veteran of Rochester, Michigan. What a gritty basketball player he is, Trey Townsend.
Yeah, between Awaka and Townsend, and here's the thing. You got to deal with Awaka and his strength, and that opens up lanes for Townsend to come in. Nice finish.
So he is 6'6", Townsend, and I think his shoulders are 6'6" across.
Him and Awaka.
It's just crazy. Boy, that was, speaking of crazy athleticism. Eddie with a pretty play there. Wabash Community College, Bethune-Cookman, big JUCO player too at Wabash. That's a great athletic school in Illinois. Baseball, basketball, they do it all well at Wabash. And you might think the cold weather at Wabash deters baseball. It doesn't at all. Foul on the hardwood. Del Orso, the Australian, trying to fancy VIP.
Yeah.
Thought there was such a thing as VIP TP, but there is.
Who was that against that first one that we just showed there from our producer, Riggs and Frampton? That it looked like Georgetown against it. I don't know if it was, but I thought I saw G-Town players.
Yeah, the very first event, I'm not sure. I know one of the bigger ones was against Western Michigan. There's that famed picture that was in People magazine. The photographer, Peggy Brisbane, famed CMU photographer. They love that. She captured it at just the right moment. Couldn't capture the roll that time. Going to the hardwood with the miss is Vanderjack.
I guess we're told it was not Georgetown. That they were actually in the fray. I think Dan Marley was in that.
Thunder Dan. How about that quick pass to Nassau?
The Thunder dunk from Basar. And again, you can see the zone. Arizona patient against that zone. Ball movement, player movement. Zones are not that hard if you really are patient. It's hard to be patient, though, against them.
It's a couple of assists for Carter Bryant. He had 3 assists the other night. A complete player in the making, Carter Bryant. Let's put it that way.
And again, to state it again, Carter Bryant playing the 4. And I think offensively for him, it's going to be an advantage.
Long rebound, Bradley, and the harm, a chance at 3. Beautiful little runner through the lane.
Yeah, it was almost like a runner finger roll combo, and he got it up high, almost higher than the backboard. There it is, off that miss zone. Didn't go that high, but nice job there. Good touch by JB.
Vasco got him, his second personal foul. Bradley drops that one home. He's an 81% free throw shooter. Goes to the line as much as any of his teammates. Not surprised. He plays that kind of fearless ball control. He gives way to Conrad Martinez, who's had a nice game.
Awesome first half by Martinez.
Quick recap, he played 7 minutes, had 2 points, 4 assists, 2 steals.
No turnovers.
Active, that's some Arizona movement there, but it didn't work out for the Chippewas. Frustrating. Del Orso penetrates. Feeds Martinez, who feeds the bucket with the 3.
I don't think he hit it, like you said, don't think he hit a bucket the first half, but credit that to Del Orso. Deli, a beautiful pass, really got into the lane there, finds his teammate. That's how you practice it right there. That's literally practice 101. You flare out to the left side and just receive it. Nice rhythm jumper.
It's interesting when you cross over that bridge, and it's a tough bridge to cross over from being a guy who can help your team in a blowout, good guy in practice, to a piece of your depth. And Martinez has crossed over that bridge. He's a piece of the depth now.
He really is. I think they could always trust him on offense. I think now he's showing they can trust him on defense.
Yes. You might think, okay, well, a little undersized is the challenge. He gets that.
Yep.
He gets that. He understands what he's dealing with. He deals with it in practice.
Well, sometimes
Cover Jaden Bradley all the time.
Well, sometimes guys will go at him like they have deli, but college guys are not like pros. They don't ISO as much.
Boy, how about that arm from Bryant? Out of Bryant, LA guy. I mean, with that arm a moment ago, looks like he's auditioning. Telling the folks at Chavez Ravine, I'd like to be a closer for the Dodgers coming in the 9th inning. Do it, Carter. To get your thoughts on the ceremony the other night for T.J. McConnell.
Yeah, it was fun listening to you and Corey talk about him and said a lot of great things. Fun listening to T.J., right? Right there, though. First thing that comes to mind, loved Arizona, loved his team. It was not about T.J. McConnell so much as it was winning. And I remember Sean Miller telling me, how about his team coming? That tells me his team loves him, right? They know how hard he brings it. And I remember Sean Miller telling me when he was redshirting, Tommy Lloyd obviously knows some of these stories, that he would never lose a game. He was on the backup team. He was on the scout team. And Sean Miller said, man, I can't tell you, like, he wins everything. And he's playing against the starters. I can't wait to see him next year is what he kept saying. But he did two things that were so elite. Number one, he picked guys up from 90 feet and would guard you at 90 feet. That was one thing. And then he has an incredible ability around the rim in the paint. I'm a little bit like Jaden Bradley. Really interesting, kind of almost funky shots that are hard to stop. But let me go back to the guarding people 90 feet. That to me, as a point guard that picked guys up at 90 or got picked up at 90, that is one of the most, you're almost like saying to someone like, I'm kind of like disrespecting you. Like, I am in your grill, let's go, it's one-on-one. It's almost like a boxing match, like, let's go. And I always respected him for doing that. And he does it in the NBA, not just college, Sud.
Yeah, it's been a dynamic NBA career, 654 career games in the NBA. I have to ask you, you witnessed it, obviously as a former player, a radio broadcaster, and then some television. I maybe did one or two of his games on TV. But for those that look back, I see numbers. The assisted turnover numbers they're laughable.
Yep.
How good of a ball handler was he?
Well, he played great.
The best ever here?
Great. I think it was, though, his control with his body is what made his ball handling so good. He played really low to the ground. He wasn't a handler like you would see, you know, he wasn't Steph. He had all the flashy stuff, but he was so low, and he used leverage, and that leverage created all of his ability to get inside guys. He played physical. He wasn't afraid to get in your body.
Congratulations to TJ. When we say his team was with him, that means the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, how cool is that?
That's super telling to me. That's a 2-hour drive, and even if they stop their plane here, I don't care. He sticks it. Now you want sticking it in this building when gymnastics starts here, and they're getting after it, the gym cats, but you don't want to stick it there.
Well, he's going to get a little bit of, you know what, from his teammates. They may get on him a little bit. People laughed. I heard a few people laugh. I did that, Sud, in Madison Square Garden, my first shot ever in Madison Square Garden against Notre Dame. It wasn't the best feeling, but you know what I said? Hey, you got touch. That touch to stick it in there.
You hear that humble brag, don't you, folks? Just snuck in the Madison Square Garden on us. Got to snuck that in there. Speaking of sneaking in, that's a pretty pass to sneak in. Jacoby flying through the air. And he's got 5 points now. That was a powerful, just his second field goal. And he's had big games this year. He had 18 against Mississippi State. A little bit more quiet tonight.
Yeah, and they're really small right now. Let's see if Arizona takes advantage with base arm.
You were saying? Oh, baby! How in the world did that go in? That looked like Emmanuel Stephan's first bucket the other night.
Yeah, that's right.
He had one come in and out of his fingers, then went in. I'm told you guys don't give those back, though. Like fishing, you don't throw them back. You take those points.
No, you take that just like a bank shot that goes in, right? Great job by Bryant seeing that. They just have no answer there because of the size right now. They just have no one can match up with him.
Well, this is an important man. Stephan comes on. He's important for depth, and they're going to go ahead and spend that redshirt year, let him get after it. The freshman out of Nigeria. This is dramatically earlier than he came in the other night.
Well, he does 3 things really well. Energy, energy, energy. And just watch him. Look at his energy out there. Gets that bucket. They just, like Central Michigan, just didn't even know he checked in there.
So he started playing basketball, you can't say this enough, in 2019. That's basketball at all. So this is how new it is. He's a shot blocker. He runs the floor, the energy you talked about.
Like his communication on that screen, great hedge.
NBA Academy in Africa. He's from Nigeria. Trying not to spend a foul. Didn't leave his feet a moment ago defensively. There he is to adjust a shot.
Way to run the court.
Caleb sneaks right by him for a bucket for Caleb Love. That is a 24-point afternoon.
And it was Emmanuel Steffen that basically set the screen because he ran the court. That enabled him to get in for that dunk. There's Steffen here. Here he goes off the roll. Nice little easy pass. Knock it energy. Knock it in. Energy guy. She definitely separates him.
I have a Christmas
She won't
Eve.
allow it.
I have a Christmas Eve.
Your
game.
Christmas Eve?
I have one. My daughter.
One of your daughters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Came to visit this world early. Was due New Year's Eve. Said, hello, I'm here Christmas Eve. Back in 1997.
Been impressed actually with Pritchard, just how unselfish he is. At times I'd like to see him go a little more, but he's really continued to get guys involved.
This is just tough, and you see it playing out now for Central Michigan. You see just the lack of depth and the injuries. It's just they're fatigued.
They are. That's a great point.
They're fatigued.
That is a great point. And the other thing is Tommy Lloyd's team is ready to play. Like they feel like it's been a couple weeks of.
And he's just doing line changes when he wants to.
The wrong time.
So these are really important. We said it going into break, but important minutes for guys like Bryant and Steffen right now. Very important. Obviously, for everybody that's on the floor, I don't want to overstate it, but I think for those two men, they can make a statement for where and when they get to play in January.
Yeah, no question about it. And Bryant is talented as anybody. See Steph on there, Townsend. And a lot of these guys still trying to figure out the Arizona system. I think Townsend is one of those guys, Trey Townsend, that really hasn't gotten comfortable yet.
Yet he contributes, you're right. Like, star level comfortable, I agree with you. And again, he had to carry the Oakland program. That's not his role here.
That's exactly. In fact, Deli said the same, a similar thing to me. He said, what's your approach? How do you feel coming into this? He said, Townsend, nice pass right there.
That's a veteran feeding a rookie. That was pretty, wasn't it?
Give Townsend a lot of credit for that one. Nice move.
Because he had a lane. That was pretty. File that one in the back of your head if you're a Cats fan, that moment right there.
Steffen does a really nice job running to the rim, that dunker's position.
Think about it, in Townsend, you got a man who scored his 2,000 points, right? He scored his 2,000.
Yeah.
He's trying to train up another guy who's only got 3 or 4.
Yeah, and say that again, 2,000, not 1,000, which we see a lot.
When we come back, Matt Field.
Okay.
It's not even close for me.
Really?
It's a newish one.
Yeah.
But not even close for me. Go give it a watch.
I'm going to watch it.
Take the little ones out of the room. It's not that aggressive. But it's just snapped a tie recently for me with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
And by the way, just to finish the thought on Tommy Lloyd, he would have picked whatever we decided he picked. He was just glad to have us help him out.
He was, exactly.
I love
nice fake.
I love, and that triple, they love that on the other side. Caden Vasco, big-time baseball player. Talked about his brother plays at Louisville. He's had 11, 10, and 15 points. Caden has in his last 3 games. He's got 10 in this one.
Yeah, only double-figure score on the team for them.
They're going to count that one. Bryant gets to flex his athleticism, but it's a bucket. Quentin Hetty gets a chance to go to work. Limited playing time. Was talking about Jacoby's younger brother. It's fun for them to play together. Q at the line. I love the narrative of the the grumpy curmudgeon coach that only focuses on the game. I kind of like that narrative. Right? It's fun.
It is.
And guess what? They love it too, especially when they get their brick house sized men doing things like that.
Yeah, that pick and roll to me has looked today, just a number of them have looked so much better than maybe they did earlier in the year. It's much more feel for this team.
Stephen right up in him. I mean, he absolutely knows what he had for breakfast there. Good job defensively. You kind of find yourself watching this closely, how he handles it.
Yep.
He and this man defensively, Bryant. Shot clock at 3. Nice job. An answer there for the Cats.
Well, these are guys right here. I mean, think about this. None of these guys have played together ever in a game. This is the first time. This five group right here.
Del Orso. Bang! That one swirls on home for a triple. And for Del Orso, that's 8 points.
And Bryant with the assist, you can see his feel getting better.
That's 4 assists.
Yeah. Yep, he's got instincts.
You can just, you way better than me with all you accomplished, you can just smell a player, and you don't have to watch him for long, who longs to be the entire player, who longs to be a great all-around player. And it's easy to do it.
Easy, yep.
Del Orso sits some early minutes. Good to see to get a run out there for the veteran Liam Lloyd. Spokane, Washington, of course, son of Tommy Lloyd. Did great things at Grand Canyon and at Northern Arizona. 16 points or more 3 times in his career.
No, we've said it on the air before. He's a legit D1 player coming in. Now, he did have a great quote that he told his dad, Tommy Lloyd, the coach. Said, if you're playing me a lot, coach, you're not doing your job.
I think he's a future coach. Drew Barbie on that roster on the other side.
Yes.
Drew Barbie, the son of head coach Tony Barbie. And it's interesting, we were talking to Tony. He made it clear, my son, before timeouts, before I address the team, he corners me and says, here's what you need to say.
I know.
Both of these dads are coaching future coaches.
They are. And he said his son's got, Tony Barber said, my son will be a coach. He's all over me, not afraid to get in me and tell me stuff. Like, okay. That was nice.
Turned around and knew exactly where he was. Beautiful athletic play by Bryant. Again, there's a bright, bright future for that man. And a pretty darn good present. He's got 5 points, 4 assists. Waka with the board. That's 9 rebounds. He's a board away from a double-double.
You called it. You said 10 and 10.
What does he have?
There we go.
Wait, does he have that range?
Wait.
That's not in my notes.
Wait a second. I got to go deep for this one. 0 for 1 on the season. Till that one.
Bit of a shocker. Bit of a shocker. And it's.
Yeah, there he is right there. And that was not just wide open. It was kind of contested.
Well, that's now 5 assists for Carter, by the way.
There was that move.
5 points.
I really love that little Euro move. Euro step right there.
And some holiday minutes for the depth chart. Lloyd's out there. Now Addison Arnold, the redshirt freshman, will see his way onto the floor. Arnold, a really decorated high school player at Royal High School in Simi Valley, California. He had high school games of 35 points, 42 points, and a walk assists. 13 points, 9 rebounds. 1 rebound shy of a double-double.
Okay, I had to go deep here, Sut. That is Awaka's first 3 of his college career. He's only taken 1 his entire career. It was this year. He missed it until that one. So let's give him some looks. He's 500, 50%.
You folks knew he was kidding out there that are watching, right? Matt's kind of good at that smart aleck thing. Lloyd. That was nearly assist number 6, but it was dealt right back the other way.
Oh,
My goodness. Stephen with the preview of what they hope they can
hold up.
see.
Oh, he could have gone high there. Well, I'll tell you what, Stephen is playing. Only got him going, but gave confidence as a whole to the team. And what I liked about this, I'm going to the stats. This is from our great stat guy, Cole Frampton. Paint touches 5, catch and shoot 9 catch and shoots, which you love to see without putting it on the floor, dribble drive 5. So pretty versatile right there, did a little bit of everything.
Ryan with the triple, expanding his opportunities, and both he and Stephen whistles for that foul. Let's talk quickly defensively. So 39 points allowed, and it's a fatigued, tired, depleted Central Michigan team. I understand that. That being said, they played without the trio all year long. They went to South Alabama, scored 70. They went to Marquette, scored 62. George Mason, 69. They went to Minnesota, scored 65. Valpo scored 77. They've scored 39 today.
Yeah, and the numbers jump out. Arizona holding them to 29% from the field, 20% from 3, and got 15 free throws in there. But you know, for Tony Barbee, it is a team that I think it's his most talented team. He said that, in fact, and get ready to watch them in January, and as they start to develop even more in February. I think this is going to be a fantastic team.
Well, name you Chippewa fans are excited to see is Armani Mighty. Get him healthy, the Canadian who transferred from Boston College. There's length, there's spring. He's going to change games. One of 3 that they're looking to get back, Mo and Shaden Simpson as well. They need those 3 back. How about the day that man has had, Conrad Martinez? So he's got 7 points to go along with 5 assists, 3 steals.
His best game ever as a Wildcat?
I think so.
It might be.
4.5 minutes in Colorado. It's just the minutes he's played, too. Like 18 minutes.
How about the layup he had there? So, as you said, a little smaller than some guards, but takes contact, goes in there, and then beautifully lays it in way high off the glass. And that's the Tommy Lloyd square where they put the red tape. You got to get it to the high corner of that square. Martinez does it perfectly.
Martinez, 7 points, 4 assists against Old Dominion. 5 plus 4 assists against Southern Utah. His per 40 in his time here has been 10 points, 7 assists per game per 40 minutes. And the news flash is this, and it's simple just to finish the thought on Martinez. He's not the only 6-foot-tall basketball player in the world.
Yeah.
Plenty of guys that are doing, not many, but you know, it's not insurmountable. And he's done it at the international level, turned it over there. I love the arm on Carter Bryant. It literally is just swift. He can fire a basketball like it's nobody's business. Stephen gives it up. Martinez, wow, again, that red tape on the glass.
Yeah, gets it up in the air, floater there.
Yeah, best game for sure now.
Yeah. Hey, Stephen's done a nice job. He did a nice job passing out of the double that last possession. Probably first time he's ever been doubled in college.
Let's get Addison a bucket here.
Addison will get you one. You get him in a spot, he'll get one.
He can shoot. He's working in the corner now. They spread. See if they swing it around. Arnold looking for that bucket. He penetrates. Off the glass, comes up short, follows his shot. He's got a bodyguard there for him, though. Stephen, I got you, partner.
Coming out weak for Stephen as well. Yeah. No.
Substitution timeout. Arizona.
chance to hear Jackson Cook. He's not alone though. Kuykendall is on. He controls the basketball now. Jopmo comes in, the Frenchman, number 42 in that jersey. He's fighting for it.
We saw him.
Is in.
Oh, wow. Oh,
He's in and out.
woo.
Oh, nearly with the bucket. The senior, he's been here so long.
Will Mana almost just tore the house down.
At the Brit, got the Frenchman.
We saw Jopmo hit a 3 earlier.
Jopmo. How about that? Slicing and dicing. Spin.
Great kid. Love to see it. Walk-ons work as hard as anybody.
Oh, you bet. They love making the starters' life heck.
Yep.
That's their joy. There's a whole separate love affair with assistant coaches encouraging those that they coach on the B and the C squad.
Oh, yeah. It's not just for fun. They help the team big time. And look at the bench. That's how you know what those guys mean out there to them. They're all standing, every one of them.
Yeah, they travel together, they eat together, they study together. Cook will dribble it out, and a happy holidays on behalf of the Cats. So we'll see if Tommy Lloyd celebrates his birthday by watching Christmas Vacation. I'm going to guess there is going to be a